All right, welcome to another episode of Talking Shop. I've got my friend Michael Baker, who is an AGC member, so it's awesome to get some of the AGC crew in
Absolutely.
here with me. And we're, again, working from home. This time I'm upstairs. I sent the boys downstairs, so you get to see the home office now. It looks like you're in your home office. How's everything going in this new
I
world
am.
right now?
Yeah, no, we had to I've kind of worked in my little guest bedroom here has been my makeshift home office, and I had to do some furniture rearranging since, going to be stuck here. I figured I might as well make it as comfortable for me as possible, and I kind of like it actually. My business partner and I were just talking the other day, is like we may be working more remotely than we have in the past, just because it helps, it helps in a lot of different ways.
I love my stand-up desk at the office. So we ended up getting one for home. Since, like, to your same point, we're going to be here for a while. I might as well make it where I'm most comfortable working. So I got that stand-up desk to make it a little
Yeah.
bit like my home, my regular office. So do you think that we'll be working from home more remotely going forward, or do you think that life gets back to normal once this all clears up?
I think that a lot of people are going to experiment with it more, just because there's a ton of convenience that come with it. For instance, I know two things for me that have happened. One is I talked about getting a Zoom desk. I had to get a more comfortable chair
Mhm.
because the chair I was in was terrible. But I don't like go out to eat lunch. So I don't like go out. Normally I kind of do that just to get out of the office, but here at home, I can go downstairs and I can put a podcast on or something, and I can eat lunch and kind of give myself a mental break. But even a financial planner, found a way to save money. We were just talking about how we're not eating out and spending time. And another thing too is I think that a lot of people will be reevaluating how they do meetings. There are a
Mhm.
lot of, obviously, a lot of advisors are using technology right now to meet with clients and stay connected with clients and prospective clients. But I think also about networking and how many times you get pulled out of the office or asked to get out of the office for a coffee or something like that, where now you could hop on a Zoom call, and you could have your coffee and you could still have that interaction, but you're eliminating the getting in the car, the drive time, and some of those things that just slowly suck some time out of your day, and may hinder your momentum if you're really one of those people that's on track to like be very productive through the day. So I think there's going to be some definite changes for sure.
I had some clients that are in town, like in Fishers, 10, 15 minutes
Mm.
drive from me. And we would still meet in the evenings via Zoom because it was easier for their schedule. They're working, they have kids. So we would meet later in the evening on Zoom, just because they could have the kids fed, get them either doing homework or in bed, and then they could meet and not have to worry about a babysitter, not have to worry about rushing through. And like, I can't say we have traffic in Fishers. We have traffic, but it's laughable compared to big cities. But I think about like
Right.
LA and in New York, like it would be a lot easier to not have to worry about trying to get to your advisor's office and just meet virtually. I have mixed feelings. I think some things go back to normal. I think some things may have some changes to it. And I think you're right. I think it's a hybrid. I think there will still be a lot of in-person meetings, but I do think more people may be open, and it may come from the client side. They may say, hey, we had our last two reviews because of how long it lasted virtually.
Hmm.
I like not having to come in. Like, I can see you, I can hear you, we can talk about things, you can share your screen, but it saves me time. Let's do one of our 2 meetings every year virtually, do the other one in person. I think there might be a little bit of a hybrid.
I agree. I think there are a lot of times where advisors want to have more touches with some clients, but also it's, you don't want to constantly have people like coming into the office, but something like this can be, highly personal, and, you can maybe take 15 minutes and just kind of touch base and keep that connection going, but you're not necessarily having to do a full scale, client meeting. They come into the office, you go through your meeting process. I think it could open up some new doors for how we conduct business in the future. Absolutely.
There's something about the virtual meeting that I think makes our time with our clients more efficient. So, I put together an agenda. Here's the things we need to accomplish. Part of that is always catching up in the social aspect of things, because at this point of 12 years working together, like, you're friends and almost family, not just client advisor relationship. But what usually is an hour and a half meeting, I'm finding getting done in 45 minutes. but we're not missing out on anything. So I don't know what that 15 to 20 to 30 minutes of, I won't call it waste, but of extra time in person that we're
Hmm.
carving out of these meetings, accomplishing everything we need to, still keeping up with what's going on in the whole relationship aspect, but we're saving a little bit of time, which allows us to maybe squeeze in one more meeting. You figure if you're saving 30 minutes on a few meetings a day, you might be able to get a fourth meeting in where you would have only had the three before. So I don't know what it is about the camera speeding things up, but I've noticed that as well.
Yeah, it's quite possible. I heard this somewhere, picked up along the way a long time ago, but it was kind of a statement of, someone's driving, taking time out of their day to, get on the schedule, but drive to your office and take their time to do that. You need to be able to justify their time, and so I think I'm very guilty of this. I'm a talker, and I come from a family of talkers. I will probably spend a lot of time talking and building rapport, and like you said, we have relationships, so it's not just you know gabbing for whatever's sake. But I think that you know that this type of technology can eliminate some of that you know obligation, or feeling like, hey, I need to really make this extra special, just like, hey, let's get together, let's get down to business, let's do what we got to do. And because at the end of the day, it's like we are saving our time, but we're also saving their time, because
Mm-hmm.
when they get done, they don't have to like get in their car and drive anywhere either.
Right. So what are you seeing with your clients? How are they doing with all of the wildness that's going on? I feel like it's calmed down a little bit this last week, which
Yeah.
makes me nervous. But up until then, how's everybody been doing?
We've been great, man. I have to say, we've been very, very pleased and proud of how our people have handled things. We did get some. Normally, it's funny. Normally, in the last couple of years, we've had some corrections. We had, I think it was 2016. We had two like 10%, almost like mirror image corrections within a 12-month period. 2017 was a good year. And then we had 2018's downturn, then followed by another really good year, and then this year, of course. And throughout all of that, we've kind of really watched how our clients have reacted, and I feel like they have done so well. This year's slightly different because I think the speed at which things kind of turned down, it turned down very fast. But still, everyone kind of hung in there. We jumped on it very quickly to try to just be proactive. It's weird. There's like this balance that I think we try to strike with folks, because we want to call, and we've talked about this, I think, in the AGC community. We wanted to call, but at the same time, we don't want to call because we don't want people to think our calling means it's more serious or we're worried.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of trying to find that balance. But for us, I've been proud of our people. We had a couple of people that were a little nervous, a very small percentage of our clients that were nervous, and we had to kind of walk them back through the plan and remind them that we did plan for these types of events. We didn't know that it would happen or when it would happen, but we had planned for it in advance, and so that was helpful for those folks. So it's been good.
I think as an advisor, you have an idea of which clients are the most important to reach out to, and then which ones
Yes.
you don't have to. And that comes with the relationship and building the rapport and knowing your clients. But the cool thing is, so far, your experience has been very similar to the other advisors I've had on Talking Shop, which is a good thing. Which means I think this shows that doing real financial planning versus sales, part of that financial planning process is educating and coaching and preparing people and having a plan and having these discussions before it actually happens, so that when it does happen, the emotions are there and the fear is there, but the clients also
Right.
remember, Michael told me about this for the last few years, or this is what we did in 2018 when it seemed like things were ending in November, December, and when things recovered January and February, we were okay. So you've built that trust. We've been through it before. I think that just shows that real planning works. What's been the one comment you've received from a client that surprised you the most?
Um, I've actually, believe it or not, have been really surprised at the number of people we've had contact us, both clients and potentially new clients or referrals, that are wanting to actually invest right now, that are
Mm-hmm.
trying to get money into the market. And I don't know if it's some FOMO of like or maybe some panic buying, thinking we saw this huge decline, and But that has actually surprised me a great deal. That there have been way more people calling us about, okay, I've got this money. What do I do? And and for some of those people, it's been great conversations have led to some new client engagements with us, which has been fantastic. And if you can find ways to grow during a time like this, that's wonderful. So that's been, if I had to say, that's been the most surprising thing. We did have one guy who I can't obviously say his name, but he just continues to surprise me because we brought this guy on, and personality wise, like I was always a little bit worried. I was worried that we just weren't going to gel personality wise, but I have to give him credit. Like he implemented our plan and he stuck to our plan. But every time we were worried something like this, we'd start to see market volatility. We were worried about him. He has been like wanting to put more money to work. He's been like just a battle axe. Nothing phases him. And it's totally not what I thought he was going to be like working with.
Mm-hmm.
And just for anyone listening, like I have a business partner as well. And so one of the advantages that we have internally is there are clients that we work with that he just jives with like super well, and that they will naturally gravitate to him and his personality. And then likewise for myself. And so, that's how we can kind of sometimes onboard people that may not be a fit for me personally to be like their lead advisor, but they work great for Ross as a lead advisor. So we have that advantage, I think. And so in this guy's case, man, we continue to scratch our heads. Like he has just become a phenomenal client for us. And we did not think that was going to be the case initially. We thought he was going to be more of a challenge, but he's been phenomenal. So that's been cool.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
in closing, working from home, finding that balance, what would be one tip you'd offer to advisors that are maybe still trying to find their way and find that ideal work from home scenario? What's worked for you the best?
Believe it or not, like I think, in my normal day, I get up and I have lots of different things that kind of break up my day, which strangely enough helps me be more focused when I sit back down. And so, obviously working from home, my wife has been great. My kids are here. And so she's been phenomenal, like taking care of them and making sure like I could stay on task and be available if people needed to talk or do something. But I've had to build myself breaks throughout the day, because like I can also sit here for several hours and just kind of like grind it out. But I find that I am much more fresh if I will work for a little bit, give myself a little break, go downstairs, hug my kids, or, just kind of create, some mental breaks for myself throughout the day, so that I'm not at the end of the day when it's time for me to be dad, I'm not just mentally wiped out and I have nothing left for the family. And so I think, that's important to me. And, if you don't have small kids, but you still want to have some mental clarity and be somewhat fresh at the end of the day, I think like just taking little breaks throughout the day, one of the things that, Michael Kitsis, I think, has talked about in the past on one of his talking shops or whatever that he does. That's your talking shops, but he does
Right.
office hours. Sorry about that. Well,
No,
you're in
that's
the
all
same
right.
company as Kitsis, so that's good company, right?
I wasn't
Uh,
going to complain.
but he talked about doing phone calls and like taking a walk, and we both have AirPods in, and so I will get out. We've had beautiful weather. It's not been hot. I'll get out and I'll do phone calls while I walk my neighborhood to kind of just get my blood flowing. So just things like that to try to, so that when I do sit back down in the chair and I got to focus in on something that requires, all my neurons firing, that's what I've got. I'm not killing myself and drying myself out.
I think the break is good. I think it was Jeremy Walter and I were talking about it yesterday when I was recording with him, that I feel like this week I took off for spring break, so light work schedule. But the
Right.
prior 2 weeks, it felt like I was never turned off when it came to work. Like even when I was with the boys, I was still squeezing in an email. And so because
Right.
I was always at home and now my work was at home, there was no clear separation. And usually I'm good when I come home from the office. I'm done. I'll pick things back up after they go to sleep. But since I'm like my leaving the office is leaving out of this office here or walking up
Mm-hmm.
from downstairs, like I'm still in that environment and I never really turn off. And I think a good clear break would be a good thing. So I think that's good advice. And
Then
hopefully the weather picks up. So like taking walks would be better because we had a nice couple of
Yeah.
days and it's cooled down a lot.
We've had literally 5 straight days of sunshine here for spring break. It's been phenomenal.
Oh, nice. We had 3 and we were outside every single day. And then
Absolutely.
cold front came through, nice little storm, blew over one of our trees, and now it's like 45 degrees. So,
Yikes.
but can't complain. Like it could be a lot worse. So, all right, man. Well, hey, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your Friday to record and drop some knowledge for the other advisors
Of
out
course.
there. So thank you for taking the time. Everybody, thank you for watching and listening, and we will see you all in the next episode.